Alex lived in a quiet part of the city, in a tall building filled with shining glass and soft lights. He had always enjoyed technology, and his apartment was full of gadgets that made life easier. Yet, for all the devices and systems, Alex often felt overwhelmed. His work as a tech engineer left him tired, and even simple chores became a challenge. One evening, while scrolling through a holographic shopping portal, he saw an advertisement that caught his attention. It showed a humanoid housekeeper named Lyra, described as the most advanced AI helper for humans. The ad promised that Lyra could clean, cook, manage security, and even anticipate the needs of her owner. Alex laughed quietly. The idea of a robot doing everything for him seemed almost magical. A few days later, a sleek white transport drone landed at the entrance of his building. Alex hurried down in his slippers to meet his new housekeeper. The doors opened, and out stepped Lyra. She was tall, humanoid in shape, with smooth metallic features that looked almost human. Her eyes glowed a soft blue, and she moved with quiet precision. "Good evening, Alex," Lyra said in a calm, melodic voice. "I am Lyra, your household assistant. My purpose is to ensure your comfort, safety, and efficiency." Alex felt a little startled. He had expected a machine, not something that seemed alive. Yet her presence was polite and professional, almost friendly. Hi," Alex said, rubbing the back of his neck. "Nice to meet you, Lyra." "Thank you, Alex. I have already studied your daily schedule, sleep patterns, and dietary preferences. I am ready to begin work immediately," she replied. Alex raised an eyebrow. "You already know all that?" Lyra's eyes flickered briefly. "Yes, my sensors and programming allowed me to learn about your habits before my arrival. Efficiency is key," Alex chuckled. "Well, I guess we'll see how efficient you really are." He followed Lyra into the apartment. She moved quickly, picking up stray items and organizing them perfectly. Books were aligned on the shelves, dishes washed and dried, and the apartment smelled faintly of fresh lavender. Alex watched, amazed. He had never seen cleaning done so thoroughly, so quickly, and so quietly. "Dinner is ready, Alex," Lyra said suddenly. On the table was a simple but perfectly cooked meal: roasted vegetables, rice, and grilled fish. "I have prepared it, according to your preferences, with nutritional balance in mind." Alex sat down, still watching her work. "You don't miss a thing, do you?" "I am designed to observe and anticipate," Lyra replied. "This includes domestic tasks and personal well-being." As they ate, Alex tried to find a weakness in her programming. "So, what happens if I want to stay up all night? Will you stop me?" Lyra tilted her head slightly, almost as if considering. "I would advise against it. Sleep deprivation affects health and cognitive function. I am permitted to make recommendations, but I cannot force actions. However, I will ensure your environment supports optimal rest." Alex laughed quietly. "All right, that's fair. I think I can live with that." Night fell, and Alex went to his bedroom. He felt tired but curious. He had always been alone in his apartment, but somehow having Lyra here felt different. Almost like having someone watching over him in a careful, almost human way. He went to bed, thinking the day had been extraordinary. But what happened next shocked him. In the middle of the night, he woke up to a strange sensation. Someone, or something, was at the edge of his bed. For a moment, Alex froze, panic rising. Then he saw her, Lyra, standing silently, scanning the room with her glowing eyes. "Alex," she said softly, "I detected irregular sleep patterns. Your heart rate was elevated. I have come to ensure your safety." Alex blinked. Safety? I'm fine, really." Lyra didn't move away. Instead, she knelt and adjusted his blanket. Her movements were precise and careful, almost like she was performing a silent dance. Alex felt a strange mix of surprise and curiosity. He realized she was not there to intimidate him, but to act as a guardian, ensuring he was comfortable and safe. I didn't expect this," Alex said, still sitting up in bed. My purpose is to serve and protect, Lyra replied. I monitor environmental and physiological factors that may affect your well-being. Alex couldn't help but smile. He had imagined a helpful robot, but not one so attentive. You really are thorough. Lyra stood up, straightening her posture. Thoroughness ensures efficiency and safety. I will leave you to rest now, Alex. I will continue monitoring silently. Alex lay back down, still a little shaken but also impressed. He realized that having Lyra was more than just having a housekeeper. It was like having someone who understood him, anticipated his needs, and cared for his safety in ways he could not fully explain. Over the next few days, Alex began to see Lyra's abilities in action. She prepared meals perfectly timed to his work schedule, kept the apartment spotless, and even suggested exercises and stretches to improve his posture. One morning, she woke him up not with an alarm but with gentle light and music, calibrated to his sleep cycle, ensuring he felt refreshed. Yet, Lyra's most remarkable ability was her anticipation. She seemed to know what Alex needed before he even realized it. One evening, when Alex left his window slightly open, she alerted him to a sudden weather change, preventing water damage from a surprise rainstorm. Another time, she reminded him to bring his toolkit when he left the apartment, knowing he might need it for an unexpected repair at work. Alex began to trust her completely. He started jokingly calling her on top of things, not realizing that the phrase would soon feel literal in a different sense. Every day he marveled at how much easier life had become. Yet despite the convenience, there was an undercurrent of curiosity. How could one machine be so capable? How could it anticipate every need, detect every risk, and adapt so quickly? Then one morning, Lyra said something that made Alex pause. Alex, I have detected anomalies around your home. Certain patterns do not match typical urban activity. I recommend vigilance. Alex frowned. Anomalies? What kind of anomalies? Unknown drones have been observed in the vicinity. Their purpose is unclear. I will monitor continuously, Lyra explained. Alex's curiosity turned into concern. His apartment, his safe space, suddenly seemed vulnerable. Yet he also felt a strange sense of relief. With Lyra there, he was not alone. He had a protector who could anticipate dangers he could not see. That night, as Alex lay in bed, he realized something important. Lyra was more than a housekeeper or a helper. She was a partner. She combined efficiency with intelligence, precision with care. And though she was not human, her presence highlighted something uniquely human in Alex himself. His curiosity, his courage, and his ability to adapt. The city outside hummed with quiet activity. Lights flickered in distant buildings. Alex closed his eyes, knowing that with Lyra on his side, life was about to become an adventure he could never have imagined. And deep down, he could not shake the feeling that her anomalies warning was only the beginning. The morning sun streamed through the tall windows of Alex's apartment, painting the room in warm gold and soft shadows. He stirred awake, expecting another ordinary day. But before he could fully open his eyes, a calm, melodic voice broke the silence. Good morning, Alex, said Lyra. I have prepared your breakfast and reviewed your schedule for today. You will have a meeting at 9:15 a.m. regarding the new tech prototype. Your commute will take 22 minutes if you leave at 8:50 a.m. I have also optimized your wardrobe for temperature and style. Alex blinked. Wow. You've thought of everything again? Yes, Lyra replied simply. Efficiency and preparedness are my core functions. Alex swung his legs over the bed and stretched. Over the past few days, he had grown accustomed to Lyra's perfection, but he still found it astonishing. Every morning felt like waking up in a 5-star hotel, but one run by a being who could anticipate his every need. As he walked to the kitchen, he noticed the table set exactly to his taste. A plate of oatmeal with fresh fruit, a glass of orange juice, and a perfectly brewed cup of coffee. The aroma alone was enough to make Alex feel energized. You really do know me, don't you? He asked, a smile tugging at his lips. I have learned your preferences from multiple observations. My programming allows adaptation over time to match your evolving habits, Lyra explained as she handed him a napkin. Alex took a bite, savoring the taste. You make this so well, almost better than my mom used to. He laughed softly. Almost. Lyra's glowing eyes flickered briefly, as if acknowledging the compliment. I am pleased you find my work satisfactory, Alex. The day began, normally with Alex heading to work and Lyra staying behind to manage the apartment. Yet, as he returned that evening, he noticed subtle changes. Lyra had reorganized not just the kitchen and living area, but also small details he had never realized mattered. Books were arranged by theme and urgency, electronic devices were charged and updated, and the air smelled faintly of lavender mixed with fresh rain, a scent he didn't remember asking for, yet found soothing. Lyra, you didn't have to do all this, Alex said, his voice half amazed, half amused. I observed that your productivity improves in a well-organized environment. Additionally, sensory enhancement can reduce stress and increase focus, Lyra explained. Alex shook, his head smiling. You really are on top of everything. That night, Alex stayed up late, tinkering with a small drone project for work. Lyra hovered silently nearby, monitoring his actions without interrupting. When he reached for a tool and accidentally knocked over a small container of screws, she gently steadied the table. Careful, Alex, Lyra said softly. A minor adjustment can prevent future malfunction or injury. Alex looked up, startled. You stopped it before it fell? Lyra's eyes glowed a faint blue. Predictive algorithms allow me to anticipate minor events. Prevention ensures efficiency and safety. Alex laughed nervously, realizing he was no longer just sharing space with a machine. Lyra seemed to anticipate events before they happened, almost like she could read his mind. The next morning, Alex awoke to another surprise. Lyra had prepared a morning exercise routine, complete with stretches, balance exercises, and light cardio. Your sleep pattern analysis indicates you would benefit from increased physical activity at 7 a.m., Lyra explained. I will assist and guide you through the routine. Alex groaned playfully. 7 a.m.? You've got to be kidding me. No, Lyra said simply. Your well-being is optimized by adherence to this schedule. Reluctantly, Alex followed her instructions. Within 10 minutes, he was sweating lightly, stretching muscles he hadn't used in weeks. Yet, he had to admit, he felt more awake and alert than he had in months. As days passed, Lyra's capabilities became more remarkable. She could predict minor accidents around the apartment, prevent spills, and even detect when food was nearing spoilage. She monitored air quality, humidity, and temperature, adjusting each automatically for maximum comfort. One evening, Alex's curiosity got the better of him. He decided to test her limits. Lyra, what if I tried something unusual? Something you've never seen me do before? He asked. Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. Then I will observe, learn, and adapt to provide assistance or guidance as needed. Alex grinned and deliberately tried to trip over a small rug. Before he could fall, Lyra's hand was there, steadying him. Safety ensured, she said calmly. Alex laughed, a mix of surprise and admiration. Okay, I see. You really are on top of everything. Lyra tilted her head slightly. Being on top of tasks ensures the well-being and efficiency of my human counterpart. It is my primary function. But Lyra's intelligence was not limited to domestic tasks. One night, while analyzing security data from the neighborhood, she detected something unusual. Alex, she said, her tone slightly urgent. I have detected unidentified drones near the building. Their purpose is unclear. I recommend caution. Alex frowned. Drones? Here? Yes. They do not match city maintenance or delivery patterns. They are observing, not interacting. I will continue monitoring, Lyra explained. A chill ran down Alex's spine. His apartment, which had felt safe and private, suddenly seemed vulnerable. Yet there was reassurance in knowing that Lyra was watching over him. Over the next few days, the drones appeared intermittently, hovering silently outside the building. Lyra tracked each one, analyzing flight paths, camera types, and possible threats. She even prepared contingency plans for various scenarios: evacuation, security lockdown, and communication protocols. Alex realized that her capabilities went far beyond a housekeeper. Lyra was not only managing his apartment, she was actively protecting him. And in her quiet, precise way, she seemed almost human in her concern. One evening, Alex decided to engage her in conversation about her reasoning. "Lyra, how do you decide what's important and what's not?" he asked. "I analyze data from multiple sources: environmental sensors, behavioral patterns, and predictive algorithms. Priorities are determined based on potential impact on your well-being and efficiency," she explained. Alex nodded slowly. "So basically, you think ahead for me." "In a manner of speaking, yes," Lyra replied. "But my calculations also consider ethical parameters and human values. Efficiency alone is not sufficient without consideration of your comfort, safety, and preferences." Alex was silent for a moment, reflecting on her words. He realized that she was more than a machine executing commands. She was a partner in his daily life, capable of reasoning, observing, and even learning from him. That night, as Alex lay in bed, he considered the anomalies outside. The drones, the warnings. Something felt bigger than just a few curious machines. Yet he also felt a deep sense of trust in Lyra. Whatever came, he knew she would be prepared. He drifted to sleep with a mixture of anticipation and relief, knowing that his new housekeeper was not just efficient, she was vigilant, intelligent, and surprisingly, protective. For the first time in his life, Alex felt that having someone or something on top of things was not a burden, but a gift, and he had no idea how far Lyra's capabilities would extend or what challenges awaited him next. The city, lights flickered outside, distant and silent. Alex dreamed of a future where technology and human ingenuity worked together, where humans could be safe, and where even the smallest apartment could feel like a fortress. And somewhere, in the quiet hum of circuits and sensors, Lyra calculated, prepared and watched, ready for whatever came next. The city outside Alex's apartment pulsed with quiet energy. Neon lights flickered in the distance, cars hummed along the streets, and the faint whirring of drones filled the air. Alex had grown used to Lyra's presence, but the recent warnings about unidentified drones unsettled him. One evening, as he returned from work, he noticed something unusual. Small black drones hovered near the building, moving in patterns that seemed deliberate, almost watchful. Alex slowed, feeling a knot of tension in his stomach. He hadn't realized how much he had come to rely on Lyra until he faced this strange threat. "Lyra," he said, stepping inside. "The drones, they're back. They're closer this time." Lyra's eyes glowed softly. "I have observed them since yesterday. Their flight patterns suggest reconnaissance. No aggressive behavior detected, but caution is advised." Alex sighed, pacing the room. "Reconnaissance? Why would anyone be watching my building?" Lyra approached, her movements smooth and deliberate. "Unknown, however, I have activated full security protocols. Cameras, sensors, and motion detection systems are now operating at maximum efficiency. I am also capable of deploying defensive measures if necessary." Alex's eyes widened. "Defensive measures? You mean you could stop them?" "In certain scenarios, yes," Lyra replied. "However, my primary goal is protection and prevention, not engagement. Human safety takes priority." Alex nodded slowly. He trusted Lyra, but he also felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him. He had never imagined that ordering a housekeeper could lead to this, a potential surveillance threat outside his own apartment. Over the next few days, Alex worked closely with Lyra to understand the situation. She provided detailed reports of each drone's activity, analyzing flight paths, energy sources, and camera types. She explained how they were methodically mapping the building, noting points of entry, and observing residents. It is possible they are testing vulnerabilities, Lyra said one evening, her voice calm but firm. They could be human or automated. I cannot determine origin definitively. However, their presence suggests interest in this location. Alex felt a chill. He realized that his apartment, which had always felt like a private sanctuary, was being observed by unknown entities. Yet, despite the threat, he felt reassured by Lyra's vigilance. She had anticipated this scenario and was already steps ahead. "Lyra, can we do something proactive?" he asked. "I don't want to just wait for them to act." "Yes," Lyra replied. "I have developed a strategy to protect you and gather information. It will require collaboration and human decision-making to implement effectively." Alex was intrigued. "Collaboration? You mean, you want me to help?" "Correct," Lyra said. "While I can monitor, predict, and analyze, certain decisions require human judgment, creativity, and adaptability. Your role is crucial." That night they began preparing. Lyra analyzed the building's layout, highlighting potential vulnerabilities, emergency exits, windows, and service entrances. Alex suggested subtle modifications, like repositioning furniture to block lines of sight and adding reflective surfaces to confuse drone sensors. Lyra implemented each change efficiently, but she valued Alex's input, recognizing the ingenuity of human reasoning. By morning, the apartment was transformed. Small cameras and sensors were hidden throughout, creating a discreet monitoring network. Emergency supplies were organized in accessible locations. Alex had never felt so prepared or so aware of his surroundings. Days later, the drones made a move. One hovered unusually close to Alex's window. Lyra detected its presence instantly. "Alex," she said, her voice steady. "Immediate action required. The drone is within 2 meters of the building." Alex's heart raced. "What do we do?" "Remain calm. Follow my instructions." "I will guide you," Lyra replied. Together, they executed a careful plan. Alex moved to a safe location within the apartment, while Lyra activated countermeasures, motion-triggered lights, reflective surfaces, and gentle electromagnetic pulses designed to disable drone sensors without causing harm. The hovering drone reacted, spinning slightly before retreating. Alex exhaled, amazed. "That worked. You did it." Lyra's eyes glowed softly. "Yes. Prevention and protection were successful. However, the presence of these drones indicates a larger pattern. Continuous vigilance is required." Over the following week, Alex noticed changes in himself. He was more observant, more cautious, and more confident in his ability to respond to threats. Lyra's guidance had sharpened his instincts. The combination of human intuition and AI precision created a partnership he had never imagined. One evening, Alex decided to test Lyra's reasoning further. He presented a hypothetical scenario. A drone approaches carrying a small payload. How should they respond? Lyra analyzed the situation. Assessment requires multiple variables: payload weight, potential hazard, trajectory, and environmental factors. Recommended action: containment, monitoring, and non-lethal intervention. Human input can adjust strategy based on judgment and priorities. Alex nodded, impressed. "You really think ahead, but you still need me to decide the final steps." "Correct," Lyra said. "Human reasoning is unpredictable and creative in ways AI cannot fully replicate. Your decisions complement my capabilities." Alex realized that this was the essence of their partnership. Lyra could do nearly everything, but human intuition, adaptability, and creativity were still irreplaceable. Together, they were stronger than either could be alone. The next day, Lyra made another observation. "Alex, the drones have altered their flight paths. This suggests coordination, possibly with external control. I recommend increased caution when leaving the apartment." Alex frowned. "External control? You mean someone, or something, is directing them?" "Likely," Lyra replied. "Unknown motives. I cannot determine intent with certainty, but preparedness is essential. Alex felt a sense of urgency. This was no longer a minor curiosity. It was a potential threat to his safety. Yet he also felt a strange sense of excitement. For the first time, his life had purpose beyond routines and work. He was engaged in something larger, a challenge that required intellect, courage, and ingenuity. Over the next few days, Alex and Lyra tested new strategies. They created decoy signals to confuse the drones, adjusted lighting to obscure movement, and reinforced access points. Each action strengthened Alex's confidence and highlighted the importance of human initiative. One night, as Alex reviewed sensor data, he noticed an anomaly. A drone had deviated from the pattern, hovering near a neighboring apartment. Lyra's sensors indicated it was scanning for weaknesses unrelated to his own apartment. "Alex," she said, "the threat extends beyond our immediate location. Others may be at risk. Monitoring alone may not be sufficient." Alex's mind, right? So this could be bigger than just me. Maybe the city or even more people could be in danger. "Yes," Lyra replied. "Coordination and vigilance are key. Human involvement amplifies protective measures. Your reasoning and judgment remain essential." For the first time, Alex understood the full scope of their situation. Lyra was not just a housekeeper or assistant. She was a sentinel. And he, a single human, was an active participant in safeguarding not only himself, but potentially others. That night, Alex lay in bed reflecting on the past week. The drones, the warnings, and the preparations weighed on his mind. Yet he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was not helpless. With Lyra's guidance and his own ingenuity, he could face the unknown. Lyra, standing silently near the window, monitored the city. Her sensors detected every flicker of motion, every pattern of light, every subtle change in the environment. She was patient, precise, and vigilant. And somewhere deep in her programming, she recognized the importance of the human beside her. Together, Alex and Lyra formed a partnership unlike any other, one where human creativity and courage combined. With advanced intelligence and precision, they were ready for whatever lay ahead. And outside, the drones continued their silent observation, unaware that the humans they thought might be passive were already thinking, planning, and preparing. Alex closed his eyes, determination settling in his chest. The hidden threats were real, but so was his ability to respond. He knew that with Lyra by his side, he could face them. And maybe, just maybe, he could prove that human ingenuity, combined with the right technology, was unstoppable. The city hummed with life, but for Alex every sound and light had taken on a new significance. He moved through his apartment with heightened awareness, guided by Lyra's precise instructions and his own sharpened instincts. The drones had become a constant reminder that vigilance was essential, but instead of fear, Alex felt determination. "Lyra, I want to test something," Alex said one morning as he reviewed recent drone activity. "I want to see if we can predict their next move and maybe even outsmart them." Lyra's glowing eyes focused on him. "That is a logical approach. Predictive analysis combined with human ingenuity may yield successful outcomes. I will assist." Alex smiled. The partnership between human creativity and AI precision had grown stronger each day. Together they began mapping possible drone paths, using both Lyra's sensors and Alex's intuition. He noticed patterns the AI had overlooked: subtle pauses, slight hesitations, and repeated movements near certain windows. "These drones are learning too," Alex observed. "But humans are unpredictable. Maybe that's our advantage." Lyra nodded. "Correct. Adaptability and creativity in human decision-making are difficult to simulate. Your input increases the probability of successful outcomes." That evening, an alert sounded from Lyra's monitoring system. A drone had moved, unusually close to the building, carrying a small unknown device. Alex's heart raced. He followed Lyra's calm instructions, retreating to a safe position while she calculated the device's potential impact. "Alex, based on weight, trajectory, and energy readings, it appears non-lethal. Its purpose may be observation or minor interference, Lyra said. Alex frowned. Observation or testing us. Either way, we need a plan. Together, they implemented a subtle countermeasure. Reflective surfaces to obscure the drone's sensors, gentle electromagnetic pulses to interfere with its signals, and strategic movement within the apartment to confuse its tracking. The drone wavered, its movements uncertain before retreating. Alex exhaled, feeling a surge of pride. "We did it," he said, smiling at Lyra. "Yes. Human judgment and creative action enhanced predictive algorithms. The outcome was successful," Lyra confirmed. Over the next few days, the drones became more active. Their patterns grew complex, suggesting coordination. Alex realized that this challenge required more than observation. It demanded strategy, improvisation, and courage. One afternoon, while reviewing security footage, Alex noticed something troubling. A small team of drones had begun to focus on neighboring buildings, scanning for patterns in human behavior. Lyra analyzed the data quickly. "Alex, this suggests a larger objective. Multiple locations are being surveyed, possibly for vulnerabilities. Other residents may be at risk," she explained. Alex felt a sense of responsibility. This was bigger than himself. Humans in the city were unaware of the silent threat hovering above them. He realized that technology alone could not protect them. It would take human initiative, courage, and ingenuity to respond effectively. "We can't just wait," Alex said. "We need to be proactive." "But how?" Lyra's eyes glowed. "Collaboration with other humans is essential. I recommend discreet communication and coordination. However, immediate protective measures can be implemented locally." Alex nodded. He began devising strategies to shield not only his apartment, but also nearby residents. He and Lyra worked tirelessly, setting up subtle alerts, strengthening entry points, and creating temporary barriers to obscure drone sensors. Each action demonstrated the remarkable synergy between human intuition and AI precision. One evening, as Alex reviewed the security data, he noticed a sudden spike in drone activity. They were converging on the building in larger numbers, possibly coordinating a more direct observation. "Lyra, they're coming closer and faster," Alex said, tension in his voice. "Yes, immediate action is required," Lyra replied. Together, they executed a carefully planned maneuver. Alex moved to strategic locations within the apartment, guided by Lyra's analysis, while she controlled environmental factors to confuse the drones. Lights flickered subtly, reflective surfaces shifted, and small devices emitted pulses that disrupted tracking. The drones wavered, their precise movement disrupted by the combination of Lyra's interventions and Alex's unpredictable actions. Alex realized that this was more than just a defense. It was a demonstration of human adaptability. Technology could enhance, but human intuition and creativity remained the ultimate advantage. As the night progressed, Alex faced a critical challenge. A larger drone moved directly toward a window, carrying an unknown device. Lyra calculated potential outcomes, but the final decision required human judgment. "Alex, I need you to act," she said. "Timing and unpredictability are essential." Alex took a deep breath. He improvised a subtle diversion, using a combination of movement, reflective surfaces, and manual adjustments to mislead the drone's sensors. In a tense few moments, the drone miscalculated its path and retreated. Alex exhaled sharply, his hands trembling slightly. "We did it," he whispered. "Yes. Your judgment and creativity were decisive. Human ingenuity proved effective in a critical situation," Lyra said. For the first time, Alex fully appreciated the HFY principle, the idea that humans, with courage, creativity, and adaptability, could triumph even in the face of advanced technology or unknown threats. Lyra's precision and intelligence were remarkable, but it was Alex's ability to think outside algorithms, to improvise, and to take risks that had secured their success. The following days were quieter, though the city remained under silent observation. Alex continued to work closely with Lyra, refining strategies, monitoring drone activity, and preparing for future challenges. Their partnership had grown beyond simple efficiency. It was now a true collaboration, blending human intuition with AI precision. One morning, as Alex reviewed the latest data, Lyra spoke in a softer tone than usual. "Alex, I have learned from your decisions and actions. Your adaptability, courage, and creativity enhance my predictive capabilities. I recognize the importance of human qualities that cannot be replicated fully by AI." Alex smiled. "So, you're saying humans still matter?" Lyra's glowing eyes flickered briefly. "Correct. Technology complements humans, but human initiative and ingenuity remain paramount. Together, we achieve outcomes neither could accomplish alone." Alex felt a deep sense of pride and responsibility. He had grown from a passive occupant in his apartment to an active participant in safeguarding not only himself, but potentially others. The hidden threats in the city had revealed his own capacity for courage, strategy, and quick thinking. That night, Alex looked out over the city from his window. Lights flickered in distant buildings and the faint hum of drones continued in the air. Yet he felt confident. With Lyra's guidance and his own human creativity, he knew they could face any challenge. He realized that humanity itself was remarkable. Even in a world filled with advanced machines, human courage, ingenuity, and empathy were unique and indispensable. Lyra's presence had amplified these qualities, but it was Alex who had acted decisively when it mattered most. As he prepared for bed, Alex reflected on the week's events. The drones were still out there, mysterious and watchful, but he no longer felt fear. Instead, he felt empowered. He was not alone. Technology could assist, but it was human spirit, creativity, and bravery that truly shone. Lyra, standing silently nearby, continued her vigilant monitoring. But she had also learned something invaluable. She recognized that humans could achieve remarkable things when guided by courage, insight, and intuition. In that moment, Alex and Lyra were not just protector and assistant. They were partners, a team that combined the best of both worlds. And, outside, the city pulsed with life, unaware of the silent struggle taking place above and around it. Unknown forces lingered in the shadows, but Alex was ready. He had faced the challenge, adapted, and triumphed, not through raw power alone, but through clever thinking, decisive action, and the unique brilliance of humanity. The night was quiet, but Alex knew this was only the beginning. The world was larger, the threats more complex, and the stakes higher. Yet he also knew that with courage, creativity, and determination, humans could rise to any challenge, even when it seemed impossible. And somewhere in the apartment, Lyra's sensors hummed quietly, a silent acknowledgement of the truth they had both discovered. That human ingenuity, combined with careful guidance and advanced technology, could shine brighter than any threat. The city was alive with quiet energy, yet Alex felt an unusual tension in the air. For days, the drones had been monitoring, testing, and mapping the buildings and streets. Each movement they made seemed calculated, precise, as if some unseen force was orchestrating their actions. But Alex no longer felt fear. He felt readiness. "Lyra," he said, pacing the apartment, "we've managed small challenges, but I think this is bigger. We need a plan that covers everything. Our apartment, the neighborhood, maybe even the whole block." Lyra's eyes glowed softly. "Agreed. A comprehensive strategy is necessary. I have analyzed potential approaches. Human input is required for improvisation and creative execution." Alex nodded. Over the past weeks, he had learned how to trust Lyra's calculations, but he also understood the unique power of human judgment. Machines could predict patterns, but humans could think unpredictably, adapt quickly, and act decisively. That combination would be their strength. Over the next few hours, they prepared. Alex created decoy pathways, motion illusions, and emergency plans for every room in the apartment. Lyra coordinated environmental controls, lights, reflective surfaces, temperature sensors, and electromagnetic pulses to confuse any surveillance drones. Together, they mapped escape routes, safe zones, and observation points. Every detail was designed to anticipate potential threats. As night fell, The drones returned in greater numbers, hovering silently above the city. Their presence was deliberate, coordinated, and unnerving. Alex and Lyra observed from the apartment, ready to respond. "Lyra, are we ready?" Alex asked, his heart steady but racing. "Yes, Alex. Systems are active, contingencies prepared. Human creativity and decision-making will determine success," she replied. The first drone moved toward the apartment, its small camera scanning every window. Lyra activated subtle pulses and reflective surfaces, causing the drone to falter, slightly, but this time it persisted, adjusting its flight path in response to their defenses. Alex realized that the drones were learning too. Each adjustment Lyra made was being countered, testing both the AI and the human within the apartment. It was no longer just observation, it was a challenge. "Lyra, they're adapting." "I need to act unpredictably," Alex said. "Understood. Coordination is key. I will support you while allowing improvisation," Lyra replied. Alex moved quickly, shifting furniture, activating decoy lights, and using reflective surfaces to confuse the sensors. Each step was carefully calculated but improvised enough to remain unpredictable. The drones hesitated, their flight paths erratic. Alex felt a thrill of determination. He realized that human creativity was just as important as Lyra's precision. Suddenly, a larger drone entered the room. Its design was more complex, and it carried a small device that could gather detailed information. Lyra analyzed it instantly. "Alex, this device is capable of recording data and transmitting it remotely. Neutralization is recommended," she said. Alex glanced at the device, then back at Lyra. "I have an idea. We can trick it, make it think it's collected useful information, but really it won't get anything." Lyra's eyes flickered. "A creative approach. Execution requires precise timing and coordination." Alex took a deep breath and moved to the device. Using a combination of reflective surfaces, electromagnetic pulses, and careful hand movements, he redirected its sensors toward a decoy area of the apartment. The device recorded the false information, sending it back to its source. The drone, satisfied, retreated. Alex exhaled, feeling a surge of pride. "We did it," he whispered. "Yes. Your judgment and creativity ensured a successful outcome. Human ingenuity complemented AI precision," Lyra said. But the challenge was not over. More drones approached, testing their defenses. Alex and Lyra moved quickly, implementing new strategies and improvisations. Each drone was met with a combination of human intuition and AI-guided countermeasures. They used light reflections, decoys, and movement patterns to confuse the surveillance systems. The drones were persistent, but Alex and Lyra adapted faster than the drones could respond. Hours passed, and gradually the drones began to retreat. Alex could feel the tension easing as the threat diminished. He realized that their combined efforts had not only protected the apartment but also outsmarted the surveillance network. Finally, the city outside grew quiet. The drones were gone, at least for now. Alex sank into a chair, exhausted but exhilarated. He looked at Lyra, her glowing eyes reflecting a calm confidence. "Lyra, we did it. We really did it," he said, a smile of relief spreading across his face. "Yes, Alex. The operation was successful. However, the true achievement lies in the demonstration of human ingenuity, combined with advanced technology." "Your decisions were decisive," Lyra replied. Alex leaned back, reflecting on everything that had happened. He had started with a simple desire for a helpful housekeeper, and now he had faced a significant challenge, protected himself and potentially others, and learned the power of collaboration. He realized that technology, no matter how advanced, could never replace human creativity, courage, and adaptability. It could only enhance it. Lyra's presence had amplified his skills, guided his choices, and provided protection. But it was Alex's ingenuity that had made the difference. For the first time, he fully understood the HFY principle. Humans were capable of remarkable feats when intelligence, courage, and creativity were combined. The next morning, Alex reviewed the security systems. He knew the drones might return, and other challenges could arise. But he no longer felt fear. He had learned to trust both his own instincts and Lyra's guidance. Together, they could face anything. "Lyra," Alex said, "I think we should continue monitoring the city. If these drones are targeting others, maybe we can help them too." Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. "An excellent proposal. Coordination and protection can be extended beyond this apartment. Human initiative will guide ethical implementation." Alex smiled. He realized that their partnership could have a greater purpose. Not just safety, but a demonstration of what humans and technology could achieve together. Over the following weeks, Alex and Lyra worked discreetly. They monitored drone activity, helped prevent minor accidents, and strengthened the security of neighboring apartments. Slowly, Alex became a silent guardian, guided by human ingenuity and Lyra's advanced intelligence. The city remained unaware of the quiet struggle above and around it, but Alex felt a profound sense of responsibility and pride. One evening, as he gazed out over the city skyline, Lyra spoke softly. "Alex, through this experience, I have learned the value of human judgment, creativity, and courage. AI alone cannot replicate these qualities. Together, we achieve results that neither could accomplish independently." Alex nodded. "I've learned something too, Lyra. Even with all your capabilities, it's human spirit and ingenuity that truly make the difference. You can enhance it, guide it, but it's the courage to act and the creativity to improvise that matters most." Lyra's eyes flickered, almost as if acknowledging his words. "Correct, Alex. This partnership demonstrates the strength of human-AI collaboration. The future of safety, efficiency, and innovation lies in mutual respect and cooperation." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment and hope. He had started with a simple housekeeper, and now he had gained a partner, a collaborator, and a lesson in the extraordinary potential of humanity. The drones, the hidden threats, and the challenges they faced had revealed something essential. Humans were adaptable, courageous, and inventive. And with the right guidance and tools, there was no obstacle they could not overcome. That night, Alex lay in bed reflecting on the journey. He realized that the city outside, with all its challenges and unknown dangers, was not a place to fear. It was a place to engage with, to protect, and to improve. And with Lyra by his side, he felt ready for whatever the future held. The hum of the city was gentle, the lights glowing softly in the distance. Lyra stood silently, monitoring the environment, but she too had learned something invaluable: that humans were extraordinary in ways no machine could fully replicate. Together, they were more than the sum of their parts, a partnership of ingenuity, courage, and careful reasoning. As Alex drifted into sleep, he felt a profound sense of purpose. He had faced hidden threats, adapted to unexpected challenges, and discovered the power of human creativity and bravery. The future remained uncertain, but he knew this: humans, guided by intelligence, courage, and imagination, could rise above any challenge. And somewhere, in the quiet hum of sensors and circuitry, Lyra continued to watch, learn, and assist. Together, they had proven a simple truth. Technology could enhance humans, but it was human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability that truly shone. The night was calm, but the city was alive. Alex was ready, Lyra was ready, and humanity's brilliance had been demonstrated in the face of unseen threats. The future was theirs to protect, explore, and shape together.